Imagine waking up tomorrow and opening a history book. But something feels wrong. World War II never happened. No D-Day, no Normandy landings, no Holocaust, no atomic bombs, no Cold War, no space race, no race to the moon. The world map looks different. The countries look different. The technology around you looks different. Even the internet you're using right now might not exist. Because World War II wasn't just a war. It was one of the biggest turning points in human history. Remove it, and you don't just change one event. You change everything. So what would really happen if World War II never happened? Would the world become better? Or would history simply find another way to create chaos?
Let's imagine the year is 1939. Europe is nervous. Tensions are rising. Leaders are making decisions that could change history. In our timeline, those tensions explode into war. But in this timeline, something changes. The war never starts. No invasion. No declarations of war. No tanks crossing borders. No millions of soldiers marching into battle. At first, life seems normal. People wake up, go to work, raise families, continue their lives. Most people don't even realize how much history has changed. But beneath the surface, the future has already taken a completely different path. Because World War II wasn't just another conflict. It became the event that shaped nearly every major development of the 20th century. And now, that event is gone.
The first and most obvious change is human life. World War II caused the deaths of more than 70 million people. Think about that number. 70 million. It's so large that it's difficult to imagine. Now imagine all of those people surviving. Families remain together. Parents never lose children. Children never lose parents. Entire generations continue to exist. Millions of future grandchildren are born who never existed in our timeline. Artists, scientists, doctors, teachers, inventors, engineers, musicians. People whose lives were erased by war suddenly have futures again. Cities that were destroyed remain standing. Homes are never bombed. Communities never disappear. The emotional impact alone would be impossible to measure. But that's only the beginning. Because when millions of people survive, the future itself changes.
Now let's talk about something unexpected. Without World War II, the atomic bomb might never be created when it was. In our timeline, governments poured enormous amounts of money into scientific research. They were racing against time, racing against enemies, racing to gain an advantage. That pressure accelerated innovation. Without the war, the urgency disappears. Nuclear weapons may still be invented, but perhaps decades later, which means Hiroshima never happens, Nagasaki never happens. The world enters the nuclear age much more slowly. For many people, that's a good thing. But it also changes global politics forever. Because now the balance of power looks completely different. And a new question appears. If there are no atomic bombs, does another major war become more likely?
One of the biggest surprises comes next: the Cold War. Many people think the Cold War was completely separate from World War II. It wasn't. The end of World War II helped create the rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Without that war, the entire relationship changes. And if the Cold War changes, so does the space race. No race to the moon, no fierce competition between superpowers, no giant national obsession with space exploration. Humans might still reach the moon, but maybe not in 1969, maybe decades later, maybe much later. One of humanity's greatest achievements could be postponed for generations. And that's the strange thing about history. One event influences another,
and another, and another, until everything becomes connected. Now, let's bring this closer to home. The internet. The thing you're using right now. Would it exist? Eventually, probably yes, but maybe not when it did. Many technologies that helped create the modern digital world were accelerated by military research. Computers, communication systems, networking technologies, advanced electronics. Without the pressures created by World War II and the Cold War, development could slow down dramatically. Imagine a world where computers arrive 20 years later. Imagine a world where smartphones don't exist yet. Imagine a world where you're not watching this video at all because the platform you're using hasn't been invented. Suddenly, World War II isn't just a historical event anymore. It's connected to your everyday life.
So, would the world be better? The answer isn't easy. Millions of lives would be saved. Entire cities would remain untouched. Families would stay together. Human suffering would be dramatically reduced. But at the same time, many technologies might arrive later. Scientific progress might slow down. The modern world could look completely different. History would become more peaceful, but perhaps less advanced. And that's what makes this question so fascinating, because there is no perfect timeline. Every version of history comes with consequences. Some good, some bad, some impossible to predict.
So what if World War II never happened? The world would almost certainly be more peaceful. Millions of people would still be alive. Entire nations would look different. Technology would follow a different path. And the modern world might be completely unrecognizable. But maybe the most surprising lesson is this. History isn't made of isolated events. Everything is connected. One decision affects another. One event changes the future. And sometimes, a single moment can reshape the entire world. So here's the real question. Would you trade the modern world we have today for a world where World War II never happened?